There's one overarching truth about people who want to be journalists, which is that you've got to do some journalism. So you've got to get involved, you've got to show would-be employers that you're committed to news, that that's what you really want to do, and that you know how to proceed. So appropriate work placements across a whole range of platforms. And if you can, freelance journalism as well. Try and sell a bit, which is even better than work experience, really. What you need to do is to be literate, to be articulate, to be curious, to have a sort of a restless character, so that you're always seeking interesting new material. You've got to be interested in people, but above all, you have to enjoy words. You've got to enjoy literacy. It's not wholly necessary to have a media or a broadcast journalism or a journalism degree, although it does help enormously because it teaches you some very important core skills in terms of recognizing stories, being able to tell them, and of course the technical wherewithal. And it's a very technically driven industry at the moment. However, it's not always 100% necessary, because the key thing is your willingness pardon me, to do journalism. So some very talented young people go to university to pursue an interest, an academic subject which they adore and which they do well in. That's fantastic. But what they do at the same time is that they do some journalism, either get involved with student journalism of one kind or another, or local journalism of one kind or another. I think these days you have to do that because it's a very, very competitive marketplace. It's much more competitive than when I started out, you know, a generation or so ago. You have to use every trick in the book. You have to look at yourself in the mirror, decide what sort of person you are, decide what strengths you've got, decide what qualities you've got which perhaps other people haven't got. Then you've got to look at the marketplace, you've got to decide what would suit you best. You must learn about your potential employers. There's no point applying for Sky News and telling Sky News that your lifetime's ambition has always been to work for the BBC, which, trust me, does happen. So you have to sort of examine your potential marketplace and then pitch. And like any good pitcher, you have to know what you're pitching for and have some really good ammunition to fire. And there is a whole range of opportunities. I mean, radio, local newspapers, lots of websites now. Even having a blog is significant because it shows that you're outward facing and that you're capable of organising something like that. So just publish, work, work, work. Sky News is special for a number of reasons, but one outstanding reason, and it's one that I think would appeal to younger people, is the fact that Sky News is very innovative. Sky News is very restless. It never accepts the status quo. It's always challenging. Just because something's been done a certain way for a number of years doesn't mean that that's the best way of doing it. So we're always open to ideas. We're willing to make developments, to go where nobody else has gone, to take risks. Most major developments in television news over the last decade or so have been a result of Sky News. And we're very proud of that. We want that to continue, but we can only make it continue if we have a groundswell of fresh ideas coming from people who are perhaps new to our company. It's highly unlikely that we'd accept anybody on a work placement who had no previous journalism experience, because this is not a place for absolute beginners. It's very disciplined, it's very pressured, it's great fun, but it's not a place for passengers or for starters. You have to come in here and be willing and able to contribute. You have to persevere, you have to be very diligent. You have to accept that you will get knocked back. Everybody, without exception, gets knocked back at some stage in their career, particularly earlier on. But there's no point going into a corner and licking your wounds. You just have to pick yourself up and go again. You have to keep trying. It's a fine line between being persistent and being a pain in the bum. but you just have to keep going.